For today's video, we are covering Deck Builders Fest from May of 2026. It's time to take a look at some amazing deck building, rogueliking, and a lot of card playing. And surprisingly, some rock, paper, scissors to go with it all. Our first demo is for Tower Lab. This is a deck building tower defense roguelike, where our twist is that technically you do no damage with any of your towers. Instead, you must use the power of physics to push, pull, shrink, enlarge, and other manipulations to knock the enemies off the board in order to save your precious hub. Each turn, you will be able to set up different objects, and everything operates using realistic physics. So if you have a fan, it can push things away, you have things that can pull, and so on. Your mission is to keep the enemies from reaching the end of your maze. After a wave is over, you'll be able to use your kind of money in order to buy upgrades, including more towers, or modify the towers that you have. It's a really great take on kind of the tower defense, almost make you more puzzle-like, as the physics work in very interesting ways. You can set up something that enlarges things, so it enlarges your projectiles or your traps. Push enemies into a gravity well, and then push said gravity well into the pit. And you're going to have to think on the fly as to what you can do based on the towers you have access to, and what upgrades you have. Now, the demo shows off that you're going to be getting different map arrangements. I don't know in the main game if it's all just going to be kind of fixed maps, randomly generated ones, etc, etc. But still, this is a really great take on some kind of like surprising twist on tower defense and roguelike. So if you like to play a tower defense game where it's all about knocking things around, pushing them off into traps and whatnot, then this is a very easy recommendation. And now we switch over to Blades, Bows, and Magic. This is a deck building rock, paper, scissors game. You'll have a collection of cards built around your three classes. Each class belongs to the lovely weapon triangle. Warrior beats archers, archers beat mages, mages beat warriors. Each round, you must set up 3 cards in order to best deal with the opponent's 3 cards. Well, the goal is whatever cards are survived or are alive at the end, they'll do damage to the opponent. When the opponent runs out of health, you win. Where the twist comes in is that many cards have rule breaks and additional effects that mess with the weapon triangle. You have cards that, let's say, will get a free attack on the opponent if they place a warrior in a certain position, having special abilities that can either affect your opponent or turn off their own powers. And you'll quickly find that your kind of like default characters are just not really worth it at all compared to all the special fancy stuff that you can get. Now, this does not appear to be a roguelike. There is a campaign that you'll play. The further you go, you'll unlock more cards, more kind of champions slash leaders that you can add to your style. And this is a very surprising and entertaining take on this kind of like rock, paper, scissors formula, by the fact that you can mess with things, have your rock turn into a scissors unit, and so on. If you're not a fan of rock, paper, scissors, and you're looking for something like a little bit more meatier effects, then I don't think this game's going to work for you. But it's a very breezy and interesting take on both a deck builder and, again, this kind of like hard balance. So, if you've always wanted to watch your rocks beat paper and your scissors be able to destroy rocks sometimes, then I would give this one a play. And now we go to Sparrow Warfare. This is a deck builder where you play as the last remaining free bird that is trying to save their flying brethren from evil humans, and we are going to play a lot of cards in order to do so, or should I say tiles. How this one works is that you have different kind of styles of decks. These are your weights. This will affect kind of your damage applying ability. You'll have your tiles kind of belonging to different types. So you have a defense style, attack, special abilities, etc, etc. You have to play 3 tiles at one time in order to activate their effect. You can either play 3 of the same tile, or 3 tiles that belong to the same category, but are in like ascending or descending order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., etc. Now you want to go through your deck as much as you can because it's full of the enemies that you'll summon to the board to fight. When you defeat an enemy, they'll become a follower and they'll aid you and give you a special effect, such as upgrade a tile, give yourself a new title, that kind of thing. With your ultimate goal for the level is to beat up the human and avoid all their nasty traps and ailments that come your way. It's a very different take on this kind of like deck building formula, as you want to kind of cycle through your deck as quickly as you can, but you need to make sure that you have an answer for the enemy. If you, let's say, discard all your defensive tiles and then the enemy does a big nasty attack, you're going to be in trouble. And with each way having its own way, no pun intended, of doing damage and dealing with the enemy, means that you do have to kind of relearn things for each one. It's hard to tell from the demo how advanced this one is going to be in the finished game, but it certainly has a original style and original design to the deck builder. So if you are a fan of birds and hoping to save them all and play a lot of tiles along the way, I would definitely give this one a play. And now we switch to Fame or Folly. This is an engine builder inspired by Viractal, but it definitely does its own thing. We are trying to become the best troop in the kingdom, and we're playing a variety of shows for the people and the lords in order to earn that title. How this one works is you'll go through a complete set of maps followed by a boss fight. For each map, you must reach the required number of accolades from the audience. Now you'll play different troop members. The troop characters will belong to different factions, and they will also give different rewards for playing them. Now more importantly, they each or some of them will have an annoyance factor. That's the number that appears in the upper left hand corner of a card. If the annoyance hits the kind of threshold or goes above it, your turn ends. Now the reason why this matters is that if it ends due to your annoyance, you do not gain any of the accolades for that turn. So you need to balance, again, how much you play based on, pushing your luck. Now on top of that, you have banners. Those are the items you see at the top of the screen. They are essentially your jokers. They will modify, give you bonus rewards. They'll be based off cards you play, cards you don't play, factions, and all that great stuff. And figuring out the best combination of troop characters to your banners is how you get those Viractal-esque numbers to go way up. Now normally this would be kind of like where everybody goes with engine builders, but this game does something very different. Normally when we talk about engine builders, they will always just keep escalating from kind of stage to stage until you get to the end of the run. In this game, when you beat the boss of a season, your deck resets. You must choose up to 3 characters to take with you, and your banners remain. Everything else goes back into kind of the recruitment pool. So that means is that you have to kind of keep rebuilding from season to season. And once again, you still have that challenge of figuring out how is your engine going to work for this run. And much like a lot of these other games, there is of course persistence and progressive difficulty. You unlock additional challenges and harder variants, new starting conditions as well. And I really do love the card art and kind of the art style they're going for with it. So I would definitely recommend this one if you're looking for a different take on the engine building formula. And I'm very interested to see kind of like what the advanced cards and tactics will look like in a game where we can do some medieval engine building and busting. And now we switch over to Dice A Million. This is a dice deck engine builder. You are trapped in a dice rolling factory. In order to escape, you're going to roll as many dice as need be to gain your freedom. Our gameplay again is of the engine variety. You'll roll dice that will correspond to, of course, to different values. You're trying to hit certain thresholds for each stage. Afterwards, you can spend any bonus kind of over the threshold rolls on items in the shop. This can be improving the value of certain faces of die, getting new die, special cards, and so on. And the dice certainly go with a very unusual variety. And like our previous game and like other engine builders, if you play your cards/dice right, you can get some very high rolls. The issue for me is I found this one to be one of the harder engine builders that I've played in some time, as you're not only at the curse of the RNG of which dice will show up, but then of course which faces they roll. So you can end up with really high or very, very low. And there's not a lot of mechanisms, at least from what I could see, that allow you to circumvent bad luck. So if you're a fan of going for jackpots with dice, I would give this one a try. But if you're someone like me who tends to roll more snake eyes than anything else, then this may be a dice too far for you. And now we go to another challenging deck builder with Cropdeck. This is a farming deck builder, as you are trying to grow enough crops to pay those nasty taxes. Each turn you'll play cards that will either relate to watering your crops, tending the field, or planting seeds. Each crop will require certain amounts of days with water in order to grow, and then you must harvest them to earn the money. If you do not meet the money threshold by the end of the round, it is game over. You'll acquire scarecrows, which are kind of like your passive artifacts. And I really do like the art style and the flow of it. Now, as like our last game, RNG is definitely a factor in terms of the difficulty. And you get the wrong stage modifiers with your cards and it's game over. And I was trying to go for a style where one tile would feed the other tiles water, but when I chose the snow area, which freezes tiles, it completely ruined everything and there's just no way to get around it. So don't let the charming graphics fool you, this one can be quite challenging to play. But there's certainly some charm here to do some turn-based farming with, if you're looking for a challenge. And now we go to Handmancers. So this is based off of the demo, but the game was released onto early access in early May, and what you see may not represent the current version. We're back with another rock, paper, scissors style roguelike, quite literally. How this works is that your cards will correspond, of course, to the 3 different types. And your mission is to match, of course, the counter to what the opponent plays. When you do that, your cards will activate. Now, if you use the same action, it's considered a parry. And of course, if you use the wrong one, then the enemy's attack will go through. Where the deck building comes in is that after each fight, you'll be able to choose different loot. You have those that can be kind of like crystal modifiers that can attach to a card that give it new properties. There are special artifacts that will transform and evolve your rock, paper, scissors into something else. And then you have like kind of your standard artifacts that will be ever active on your character. And of course, you must have to create that build that's going to work. As you get further in, enemies will get nastier effects, as well as be able to change the rules on you in terms of what cards are going to work best against them. Now, with this being a demo and with the game being in early access, it's still a bit hard to tell how much more there will be in it and where things will grow, but I really do love the art style of it, and it's definitely one of the more exciting takes on rock, paper, scissors that we've seen. So again, like our earlier game, if you're in the mood for a different take on the classic game, I would definitely give this one a try. And for the last game of tonight, we go to Viractal. This is a tabletop RPG deck building roguelike for friends. You and your friends are trapped playing a very strange and very adorable looking board game. And you must go on adventures with your quest pieces in order to figure out what is happening. The game can be played either single player or with online co-op, with each player taking control of a different character. Each character belongs to a different class and will get access to different skills and cards and etc. Each turn, Each character will roll a dice, and you are free to move anywhere within the roll of said dice. Any unused rolls or dice movement will earn you DP, which is a special resource that can be used for specific purposes. When either player lands on an enemy on the field, they'll go into turn-based combat. You have a very minimized deck, and you'll be able to use cards as well as unlock different traits or talents that can help your character. And the goal is for your party to get all the way to the end of the quest, defeat the big bad, and move things along. I absolutely adore the board game aesthetic that the game has going on for it. And the deck building is okay, again, because each player is controlling their own separate character. You're not going to be getting 20, 30, 40 card sized decks in this game. And it's hard to tell if there is enough here for a single player, but it could definitely be a very delightful take for co-op fans looking for a game to play. And it does feel, at least from the demo, that you do want to use gamepad rather than keyboard and mouse to make the most out of it. So if you, and maybe some friends, like to go on a tabletop adventure, I would highly recommend you at least give this demo a try. And with that, Deck Builders Fest comes to an end. What are some of your favorite games from the event? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. If you want to take your game for a future stream, showcase, or festival, be sure to get in touch. With that, enjoy all the decks, dice, and rock, paper, scissoring, and see everyone next time. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and if you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.